Hey Biz Bestie, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sha-day Johnson, the tech strategist for non-techie coaches, helping you to choose and use the tech that's behind the scenes in your business so you can ditch the tech overwhelm and get more clients with ease. Today's video is a special one because I'm actually sharing the first day in my Uplevel Your List 5-day challenge that I'm holding, especially for coaches. I'm sharing all of my top tips for email automation, and I wanted to share the first day with you. If you haven't registered yet, you can go ahead and go to shadayjohnson.com/challenge. The challenge is going on from Monday, October 4th through Friday, October 8th. But if it's past that time, by the time you are watching this video, that's okay, because you can still go to shadayjohnson.com/challenge to go ahead and get access to the replays. So enjoy day one, which was all about picking the best email service provider for your coaching business. And this was a fun one because I happened to have the first day of the challenge go down when Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and everything went down for what felt like hours upon hours upon hours. So my original plan was to go live in the Facebook group, and that all went haywire. And so I ended up having to record the lesson. The autofocus was going a little crazy during this video, but eventually kind of evens out. So I apologize for that in advance, but it was a crazy day. So at this point in time, at this recording, I was able to do day 2 of the training live in the Facebook group. So hopefully the rest of the week goes just as planned. But it still has been a lot of fun and was a good lesson, actually, because the whole reason I created the challenge was to encourage you to start growing your email list. And if you've been following me for a while, I've mentioned in other videos, the number one reason why you want to grow your list is because you can't count on social media platforms to be there for you all the time. You don't want to have all of your eggs in one basket. So I go over all that in this recording, but I just wanted to share that with you that, wow, we made it through. We're going to be okay. So I hope you enjoy this. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can get more content like this. I post videos on YouTube every Thursday and videos on Facebook. And eventually I'll be posting on Instagram every Friday. So I'll see you there. Enjoy. Hello, Biz Besties, and welcome to day 1 of the Uplevel Your List 5-day challenge. Oh my goodness, what a way to start the very first day of this challenge. Today, Monday, October 4th, will go down in history because today, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp all decided to just not work. They are down for the count, okay? And I planned to do this challenge live in an exclusive Facebook group, which you all are part of. And instead, I'm going to just be recording this video and then posting it to the Facebook group later if it ever actually goes back up. But what's crazy, because of course, first I freaked out. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, I've been planning for this challenge. These people are relying on me and I have to come here with this information and now I can't do it. But then I realized, Sha-day, hello, this was the exact reason why you created this challenge. Because if you know me, if you've been following me even for a little bit, you know that I'm a huge cheerleader for growing, creating, starting, building an email list. And this is the exact reason why, because you simply cannot rely on social media to be your only source of communication with your audience. Because if you do, that is a dangerous game to be playing because at any moment, literally, either it can be down or your profile can just up and be banned, closed. I've heard all of those horror stories. And so that is why building an email list is so important, especially for you online coaches out there, because when you are working so hard to build your audience online, which I know a lot of you are doing by building a Facebook group or growing your Instagram profile, it's so important to transfer those people who are following you over to your email list so that you always have a way to be in contact with them. Plus, an email list is something that you own. It is an asset in your business. And really, when you have an email list, you're going to be able to contact them whenever, and you're not going to be subject to the mercy of some algorithm. So, even though this was not exactly the way that I wanted to start off this 5-day challenge, it actually was kind of a nice little teaching moment to show that, hey, get people on your email list so that you have a different way to communicate with them. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket on social media. Obviously, we know that it's super important to be building our audience on there since you have an online business, but we can't have that be the only way. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with this first lesson. So I have my notes here. So if you see me looking down, that's why. So let's see. Okay, so right now I would be saying, be sure to say hi in the comments because I thought it was going to be live. But even though we're not live, I do still want you to go ahead and say hi in the comments and let me know where you're watching from, where in the world you are, because I know I'm in the US, but I know that we have other amazing women here from all over the world. So I definitely want to know where you are tuning in from. And during this challenge, I'm going to be sharing the email automation secrets of high-end coaches. And during this 5 days of working together, I want to get you started on the right foot with getting this implemented into your business. So I've got 5 days of some awesome topics to cover with you. And just so you know, each day I'm going to be going live in the group or just posting this video there. And honestly, at this point, I'm thinking I might just avoid all that and just pre-record everything just to kind of save myself a headache. Because when things like this happen, you kind of just have to take the reign. What is it? Do something. You gotta take control. Got to take control, make an executive decision as the business owner. And, I have a very tight schedule that I have to stick to. And so I can't be messing with this whole, we're down, we're up, we're down, we're up. I mean, I've been up since, I don't know, maybe like 7:30, 8 a.m. this morning. And it's now well into the afternoon and it's still down. So this isn't just they were down for 30 minutes or they're down for an hour. Like it's like a serious issue. Who knows what's going on? So I'm just going to make the executive decision that I'm going to go ahead and pre-record all of these each day because I did have that scheduled into my schedule. So here we are. And then I'm just going to post it, but also email the link over to you. So those replays, I say all that to say that the replays will be available through next Monday, October 11th, at midnight. So 11:59 p.m. So you'll have the link to watch the video either through your email or in the Facebook group if it's available. But the replays will expire Monday night. So definitely make sure to put the time on your calendar to watch these. I'm going to try to keep them short between, 30 minutes to no longer than an hour. So that way you can get your daily action step, AKA your homework, and get things done. So the 5 topics that we're going to be covering during this 5-day challenge today will be picking the best email service provider for your business. And then on day 2, we're going to talk about the top 7 strategies to build your list. On day 3, we're going to go over the number 1 mistake that I see new coaches making and how you can avoid it. Day 4, we're going to talk about how to not lose leads by building an email funnel. And then finally, on day 5, we're going to talk about avoiding burnout and how to create a newsletter publishing calendar. So super excited to get all of this shared with you this week. And first, I want to go into how to know if this challenge is for you. First of all, if you heard those topics and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, I need that, then, you already know this is the challenge for you. But if you're still like, I don't know, well, this challenge is for you if you have a coaching business and you're starting to think, I keep hearing about this whole build an email list idea thing, but I don't know where to start. then you are in the right place. Or if you already have an email list and you're a coach, but it's kind of taking a back seat and you're not doing much with it, which is totally normal. I see it happen all the time. It even happens sometimes with my email list. You do all the work to gather all these emails and then you're just like not even sending out any emails. And then you don't even know where to start to get back into trying to build it and actually communicating with people again. So if you resonated with any of those reasons or any of the topics that we're going to cover, then this challenge is for you. So welcome. So who am I? And why am I even holding this challenge? So I am Sha-day Johnson, and I am a tech strategist helping non-techie coaches just like you to ditch the tech overwhelm by helping them with the behind the scenes tech and automation in their business so that you can get more clients with ease. And part of the behind the scenes tech that goes into your business is email marketing, email automation. And so email basically is my jam. And I started my journey online about 5 years ago when I was unfortunately laid off from my job. I was one of those people who's like always had a job, never been fired. And then all of a sudden it was, oh, we're closing down the company. And I'm like, wait, what? Huh? What do I do? Oh my God. So that was definitely a lesson learned. But at that time, I decided, let me go ahead and experiment with doing some freelance work. So I started doing some freelance work on those websites like Fiverr and Upwork. And I discovered that there was something called a virtual assistant or a VA. And so I said, okay, let me go ahead and try that. I could totally do that. And I did, which was great. It was awesome. However, I couldn't quite figure out how to make a full-time income in the beginning. So I did end up having to go back to the corporate world and, in order to support myself. And I kept doing the VA stuff on the side because I was like, okay, I don't know how to make this work right now, but I know that there is something to this. And, that entrepreneur bug the passion, the fire just lit up in me. And I was like, I got to keep doing this. And so that is what I've been doing for the last 5-ish years at this point. And so during that time, I had done a lot of random tasks for people, including like basic admin stuff, transcription, data entry, all of those things. And then I eventually got into doing Pinterest, which was fun, but I still was like, this isn't quite for me. And then it dawned on me like, oh, of all the things that I've been doing, the thing I enjoy the most and that gets me the most lit up is the techie stuff. So that was like a big turning point for me. So I ended up hiring my first business coach back in 2020, which it's crazy to think about now that, I invested so much in myself at a time when, the world was kind of falling apart. And, so in some ways it still is, I guess. But I tried to make the most of it. I hired my first business coach and I was like, I'm going to be the best VA there is. And eventually I pivoted to becoming a tech strategist. Now, when I hired that business coach, I was immediately immersed into this amazing community of coaches because it was actually a group coaching program and a lot of the people in it were coaches. And so that's when I started to realize like, whoa, these women are amazing. They are sharing their gifts with the world and helping other women to start their dream businesses or helping them to get their lives together if they were a life coach or just helping them to reach their goals in general. And I had no idea that coaches were making such a huge impact in the world. So not only did the coach that I hired make such a significant difference in my life and really just did a amazing job with helping me get my business off the ground and, giving me the guidance that I needed to actually make it more than just a side hustle. But these women were literally changing the world. And that was just so inspiring to me. And that was the moment, I kept having these Oprah light bulb moments, aha moments that she calls them. And so when I was exposed to that amazing community of coaches, that's when I realized, okay, this is my niche. This is who I'm meant to help. in some way. And that's when I realized as well that these coaches don't like doing anything techie. And understandably so. Their zone of genius is working with clients, transforming their lives. They do not want to be bogged down by the tech stuff. And so I decided, okay, my niche is going to be coaches. I'm going to focus on my zone of genius, which is all of this tech stuff, so that it can allow them to focus on their zone of genius, which is transforming their clients' lives. And so that's my little story in a nutshell, and how we reached today with me hosting this challenge. It's the first time I'm hosting the Uplevel Your List challenge. And, I designed it specifically for coaches so that I can share the experience that I've had for the last about a year and a half since I've niched down, and I've started working with coaches, and I've learned so many tips and tricks from seeing the behind the scenes in their business and how they use email marketing and email automation. And I want to share all of that with you today, this week, these 5 days. So, how is this sounding to everyone? I would say, let me read the comments, but we don't have that right now, but that's okay, because I will be in the group later, should it be available, reading any comments that you have. Or you can go ahead and send me an email by responding to the email that you got, this video link from, or just sending it to hello@shadayjohnson.com. And by the way, Chada, I know my name looks like Chada, but it's Chada. It's spelled CHAD as in David, A. So hello@shadayjohnson.com. You can send any questions that you have about the challenge or about email automation to me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I mean, usually within a day, but just in case I end up getting like 100 emails, I want to give myself a little leeway. So let me know how this is sounding to you, and if you're ready to get started with this first lesson. So, like I mentioned, today's topic is how to pick the best email service provider for your business. So at the end of the lesson each day, I will be giving you a daily action step. And this means that you need to actually take action today with this daily action step. So that way you can move one step closer to getting this system implemented into your business. I know how it is. You go ahead and you sign up for a challenge or a webinar or some sort of lesson, seminar, whatever, and you get the link and then you're like, I'll do it whenever. So I'm really hoping that you take advantage and try to implement these things immediately in your business. I tried to design it so that it's going to be relatively easy for you. So if you haven't grabbed your challenge companion workbook, then definitely go ahead and get that. It's the Uplevel Your List 5-day challenge companion workbook. And this is a workbook that I created. It's like 15 pages. And it's basically a simple guide to get you through this challenge in case you are one of those people that likes to plan ahead and one of those people that likes to have a place to take notes. You can either print it out, or it's also a fillable PDF. So you can literally type your notes into this document and save it. And so you'll always have it for your reference. And the nice thing is that, it has the schedule for the entire week, and then it has some fill in the blank questions that go along with the lessons that I'm going to be, or with the content that I'm going to be teaching you. And then there's also pages to take notes. So that way, when you get inspired and you're like, I need to do that, I need to implement that, then you have, for example, a whole nice little page to take your notes. And then you have, I'm like messing up the order of the pages. And then there's like the schedule. So it's just a nice little book for you. So if you want to grab that, you can go to shadayjohnson.com/UYL workbook. That's like Uplevel Your List workbook, to go ahead and grab that. So let's go ahead and dive in. First, I want to explain what email automation even is, because I know I keep saying that and you're probably like, girl, what is it? What does that even mean? I've never even heard of that. So email automation is a powerful way to market to your audience. And it is the ability to send emails to your subscribers automatically when they take a certain action. So a really simple example of this is, let's say you've created a freebie that you want your ideal client to download. You want them to be able to download this once they've given you their email address. So when you choose your email service provider, you'll go ahead and set up an automation within that provider that says, okay, once this person gives me their email, go ahead and send that PDF or that video that I created directly to them. And then also, once you've sent that PDF or video, go ahead and send them 5 additional emails every 2 days. So what's happening is someone is getting onto your email list, and then you've set up an automation to send them that freebie, but then to also send them some follow-up emails, let's say every 2 days, every 3 days, that continue to provide value and then eventually pitch your services. And that's when you're going to see the magic of getting people enrolled in your coaching programs on autopilot. So that's the beauty of email automation in a nutshell. You set something up once, but then it still keeps working like clockwork in the background for you automatically with no additional work besides promoting that freebie. So like I mentioned, today's topic is going to be the first step in getting that email automation for you, which is or getting that email automation set up for you, which is choosing the best service provider for your business. So, as we know, building an email list is going to require you to sign up for an email service provider, because that provider is going to house all of the email data securely and enable you to send out mass emails to your list while making it look like it's being sent to one person. So it's not going to be like back in the day when you would get like one of those chain letters and forward it to everyone on your email list. And, you see 100 emails in the to box. It's just going to say to one person, and it's going to be look like it's an email specifically for them. So, this is not going to be where you set up a Gmail account and, start forwarding emails. It's going to be nice and professional with an email service provider. So you've probably heard of a ton of different email service providers, and I'm going to start calling it ESP from here on out, because I feel like I'm saying email service provider a lot. And now you'd learned a new abbreviation for this. It's ESP. So you've probably heard a bunch of them, like ConvertKit or Mailchimp or Flowdesk, Aweber, ActiveCampaign. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But to keep it simple today, we're just going to talk about 2 ESPs that I'm going to compare, which are going to be ConvertKit and Mailchimp. Okay, sorry if you just noticed that little glitch there. While I was recording, my camera decided, oh, hey, we're running out of memory, and so you can't record anymore. So I had to take the time to take the stuff off, and it's been a little while, but we're back at it. Mercury must really be in retrograde today, girl, because things are getting a little cray-cray, but we're still going to keep going. So as I mentioned, the 2 ESPs that I will be comparing today are ConvertKit and Mailchimp. And the reason why I chose these 2 is because these are the 2, first of all, that are super popular, but they're also the ones that I've worked directly with clients with. So they're the ones that I just have the most experience with, and it's a real life experience. So I felt like, I can actually give you the juicy details of these when comparing them. But I do want to point out that I have played around with a bunch of the other ones that I mentioned before, and really, none of these ESPs are bad when comparing one to the other. It really just boils down to what you need for your business. And that is exactly why I chose to compare these 2. And I'm going to tell you what my preference is soon here, because I am talking about a specific coaching business versus just, all online service providers, or, small businesses, or, any other industry. This is specifically for coaches. So that's why I narrowed it down to these 2. And That's why I made this challenge for coaches, because we can address your specific needs and what's needed in your industry. So the top two features, and you're going to want to look at your companion workbook because this is one of the fill in the blank things there. But the top two features to consider when choosing an email service provider are: one, the number of subscribers limit, and then two, the automation capabilities. So when I talk about the number of subscribers limit, that's the number of subscribers that you're allowed to have on your list, depending on what plan you choose with that ESP. So you're going to find that both ConvertKit and Mailchimp have different tiers of plans that you can select. Both of them do have a free plan, but I'm going to get into the details here right now. So the very important detail that I want you to take away from this is the main difference between ConvertKit and Mailchimp, which is that ConvertKit focuses on the total number of subscribers on your list, while Mailchimp focuses on the number of audiences you have. So this can get a little confusing, but I'm going to do my best to to narrow it down for you. So like I mentioned, both ConvertKit and Mailchimp do have a free plan. On ConvertKit's free plan, you're allowed to have up to 1,000 subscribers on your list, while Mailchimp allows you to have up to 2,000 subscribers and one audience. So with ConvertKit, when someone subscribes to your list, they get placed onto one list that you can email directly to everyone, or you can send an email to just specific people by using their tags and segment features. We're going to get into that later in a few days in this challenge, but just keep that in mind. So Mailchimp, on the other hand, on their free plan, allows you to have just one audience, or essentially one list that you can also tag and segment like ConvertKit. So the free plan is very similar. But then Mailchimp has what's called their Essentials plan, which allows up to 3 different audiences. Now, with audiences, you sometimes end up, well, first of all, let me say, with audiences, basically you can have one audience that maybe you call your Facebook group audience, and then another audience you can call, my webinar, business webinar that I held. And then another audience is maybe Instagram followers. So sometimes you end up having the same contact on inside of different audiences. So that means you are potentially paying for one subscriber more than one time. Because if I am someone who is in your Facebook group and I'm in one audience, and then I'm also on your Instagram profile, and then I also attended your webinar, I'm in all 3 of those audiences. So that means you're paying for me 3 different times. So the issue that I've run into with the multiple audience feature is, what happens when you want to send the same exact email to all 3 audiences at one time? The answer is you cannot do that. And it's so frustrating. You end up having to send 3 separate emails, which is why having just one list like ConvertKit offers is so much better. So plus, as a coach, you really don't have the need for different audiences. Your best practice is going to be to utilize the tagging and the segmenting features. So overall, I do think that ConvertKit is way better when it comes to the number of subscribers allowed, because you don't waste your time or your money either sending multiple emails to different audiences and trying to get all that figured out. And you also aren't wasting your money because with ConvertKit, you just pay for the one contact the one time. And you're saving yourself just a huge headache, because the number one complaint that I get from clients that I work with Mailchimp is, why can't I just send the one email to everybody? Now I got to figure out who's on what list and, get them added to the other one if I want them to be included in this. And it's a big headache. So, In this case, I do recommend ConvertKit. Love, love, love them. So the next feature that we're going to focus on is the automation capabilities. Now, as I discussed a little bit in the beginning of this lesson, email automation refers to the ability of the ESP that you choose to send emails automatically once a certain trigger occurs. So the example that I used was sending a freebie to your ideal client. So what happens with this is you create your freebie first. So you're probably going to be like using Canva for that. And then you decide, okay, I need a way to deliver this. So you set up an opt-in form and you place that either on your website or landing page that you've created. And then you drive people to that landing page so that they can go ahead and enter in their name and email address, and it's automatically going to be delivered to them. So, and that's going to happen without you having to do anything extra, because once you set up that automation one time in the back end of your ESP, every time someone goes to that landing page and opts in or gives you their information, then in the background, that automation is automatically going to happen where they're sent that freebie. So when it comes to automation, both ConvertKit and Mailchimp have great automation features. But I give the edge to ConvertKit on this comparison, simply because ConvertKit is way easier to work with. Another common complaint that I hear with Mailchimp is that it's just hard to find things. It's like with ConvertKit, they've designed the user interface to just be very user friendly, and everything is just very obvious where things are, and it's just very intuitive, versus Mailchimp is just very clunky, which is so surprising to me, because when I started working with them, I was just like, oh, this is like one of the oldest, or one of the OG email service providers, so it's going to be great. I've heard so many people use it, and then I get in there and it's like, where are things? Where can you go? And I'm a techie person. So I'm like, if I'm having trouble finding where things are and how to actually get started with just sending out a simple email or creating a new automation, then I know my clients who are not the techiest are going to be wanting to pull their hair out. So with ConvertKit, they have a very easy to use visual automation builder, and excuse me. And I just think you're going to have a much better experience using ConvertKit than using Mailchimp. So if you're going the DIY route of implementing email marketing into your coaching business, then you definitely want to go with ConvertKit, because it's going to save you so much time, and you're not going to, eventually as your business grows, you'll outsource just because, you're becoming more of the CEO of your business. But especially in the beginning or at the time when you don't have the budget for it, it's just going to be so much easier to go ahead and DIY while using ConvertKit, and they'll save you a ton of headache. So obviously I'm really pumping up ConvertKit right now, but it's because it is awesome, and it's my favorite standalone email service provider for coaches. Now, if at a point in your business you do move to wanting to have more of like an all-in-one software, those are out there. But if you're in the starting phase or the growing phase of your business, and by starting phase, I mean you have 0 to 3 clients, and the growing phase is when you have 4 to 10 clients, then that's when you want to have a standalone email service provider like ConvertKit, and it's really going to work wonders for you. So, even though I do prefer officially ConvertKit, I do want to let you know that whatever email service provider you choose, the tips that I'm going to be giving throughout this challenge will be able to be applied, because I am giving very general marketing or email marketing and email automation principles for a coaching business. So I don't want you to feel bad if like, oh, I didn't go with ConvertKit. I'm not going to be offended. Don't feel bad. It's totally fine. But I am saying that is my official recommendation for a standalone email service provider. So now let's see. Let me look at my notes, because I got a little out of order here. Okay, so like I mentioned, ConvertKit is the best. So if you do sign up for ConvertKit using my affiliate link, which is shadayjohnson.com/ConvertKit, then you do gain access to two amazing free bonuses, which I'm going to share with you right now. So the first bonus is you gain access to my little mini course, which is called Email Automation for Coaches. And it's basically where I break down the basics of using ConvertKit and how to go ahead and create an opt-in form and how to get your freebie delivered, as well as how to create your first email sequence. So that is super awesome and super valuable. The second bonus that you get is you gain access to it's actually a new thing that I'm just starting. I created an exclusive Facebook group called ConvertKit Crew. And which now I'm like, do I even want to be on Facebook anymore? I don't know. After today, I might have to change the platform, but for now, it's going to be on Facebook called ConvertKit Crew. And that is where you'll be able, while you're under my affiliate link, you'll be a part of that group. You'll be able to meet other people who are using ConvertKit, as well as ask questions, and I will be able to give my input to your ConvertKit questions. So it's a way of being able to work with me without having to actually pay me. So you definitely want to get in on that. And the way that you're going to gain access to this is you're going to go to shadayjohnson.com/ConvertKit, which is my link. And once you get all signed up, and you receive your receipt via email, you're going to forward that receipt to me at hello@shadayjohnson.com. And then from there, I will go ahead and send you your access to the course, as well as the link to the Facebook group, so you can go ahead and get accepted. So now it is time for your daily action step, your official day one action step. Now, if you have your companion workbook, you will see, let's see, I lost the page. Oh, here we go. The first action step is to create an account for your chosen email service provider. So if you're going with ConvertKit, go ahead and go to shadayjohnson.com/ConvertKit. If you're going with Mailchimp, Aweber, Flowdesk, MailerLite, ActiveCampaign, whoever it is, go ahead and go to their website and get your account created. That is going to take you about 1% closer, maybe 5% closer to getting email automation set up in your business. So I'm super excited for you. Now, I want you to go to the Facebook group once it's available and post there what email service provider you have chosen for your coaching business. I cannot wait to hear which one you're going with. Also post any other questions that you have regarding email marketing or email automation, because I do want to make sure I get them covered either directly in the group or through the content that I will be sharing with you this week. So there you have it. Day one of the Uplevel Your List Challenge is complete. Tomorrow, we will be talking about the top 7 strategies that you can use to start building your email list. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know it was a little rough, a little rocky, but we got through it. So I want to say sorry, but it's not my fault. The Facebook gods just weren't working for us today, but that's okay because we got through it. If you have any questions at all regarding this challenge, you can email me at hello@shadayjohnson.com, or when Facebook is back up, post in the group or send me a DM. Thanks so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my future videos just like this one that I post every Thursday. And if you have a biz bestie that would benefit from this info, be sure to share it with her. I'll see you next time. Bye.